What up guys, Man of Thor 28 here, hope you're well. Today I'm going to go through how to play against the Scotch Open. So if you want to learn more about openings, middle games and tactics, follow me below on Man of Thor 28 and you can follow a lot more there. So without further ado, here we go. Pawn to e4, pawn to e5, knight f3 and knight c6. Pawn to d4, black pawn takes on d4. And then white knight takes the pawn back. Black then plays queen to h4, which is quite an unusual move. Now, it tends to take a lot of Scotch players off guard. They don't really tend to like this. So I definitely recommend it for black, but definitely for white Scotch players to watch out for it. White plays queen to d3. And then black plays knight f6. White does knight d2. And then black plays knight into g4, attacking the pawn and f2. Black defends with g3. Queen retreats back to f6. Again, attacking that pawn and f2. Because obviously when king goes to d1, the knight then comes in. So obviously white's seen it. He brings knight back to f3, defending the pawn and f2. Black then brings knight into e5, again attacking that knight, putting the pressure on there. He's not going to let it go. He's not going to let it rest. And like you say, if knight takes knight on e5, queen comes in at f2, check. King only has d1, and then the knight's going to come in at d3, at e3, sorry. So that's not an option for white to take the knight. It would be a bit of a silly move. So what does he do instead? What other options has he got? Queen c3. Okay. So queen c3 may look okay, but black's got another trick up his sleeve. So bishop to b4. Attacking that queen, again, putting more pressure on. Queen takes bishop on b4. Knight takes knight on f3. Now then, what's white going to do? Knight takes knight on f3, and then queen's comes in to take the knight on f3. Again, attacking the rook on h1. So if he moves rook, again, he comes in. Queen, f2 check. And then when the king moves, the rook's a gunner. So that's not an option. What else can white do? Again, if he brings queen to d2, again, the rook's a gunner on h1. So again, that's not going to be an option. So let's just go back again. So when the bishop came out, bishop comes again to b4. So we know what happens if he takes it. We know what happens if he goes to b3. We know the options that black has got. What else can white do? Okay, so if it does knight takes knight, queen takes knight this time, and then if queen comes in to f3 and takes the queen, if you look closely, the knight on d2 cannot take back because it's pinned by the bishop. So that's not an option for white either. There's too much at risk for white now. So let's just go back again to see what other options there are. Again, bishop back to b4, attacking the queen. We've seen queen takes the bishop. We've seen. Okay, so this time knight takes knight. King comes to e2. But if the king comes to e2, he's got a fork. Knight comes to d4, check, and boom, the queen's a goner. So that's not an option. Black's just destroying white all over the battleground. He's got nowhere to go. White has got literally nowhere to go. So I think the only last resort for white this time is Queen d4. But then that means, again, knight takes knight on f3. And again, knight can't take back because it's pinned with the bishop. So king moves, and again, the queen's a goner. There's just too much at stake here.